How's it going, folks? So the band Rozario have released a third single here. The name of this song is Nightmare in Flames. Now, I don't usually triple up on a band, when they're releasing a new album. I don't usually triple up on reaction or whatnot. Usually I'll keep it to two or just one, even kind of try to spread the wealth a bit. But I've just been too curious. I've really enjoyed the first two singles, and they were quite different. The first one was kind of a power folk metal sort of deal, and then the second one was a little bit more of a traditional heavy power metal, hard rock kind of anthem type thing. So I'm just really, really curious to see what this third single is going to bring. And the new album comes out October 20th, if I'm not mistaken. And like I said, I'm just too curious. So without further ado, let's jump on in here. And so far, they're 2 for 2. Both songs were great. So can they go 3 for 3 and get a hat trick? Let's find out. Rangers, go. mean, this really, I think, is going to be a powerhouse of an album. It be quite varied, and again, there's just so much power behind all three of these songs. Now, honesty is the best policy, as they say, and I'm always going to be honest with you folks, regardless of the band that I'm covering. I like this song, so don't get me wrong. I liked it, but I do think this is possibly my least favorite of the three singles released so far. If I had to rank them in order, um, the first single, which I'm pretty sure is the title track, by The Gods We Swear, that one blew me away. Love that song. That's number one for me. And then my second favorite was the second single they released, which, to be honest, I cannot remember the name of it. Something about wheels and metal and motorcycling around, this stuff, something like along those lines there. I really enjoyed it, and that one's funny because I liked it when I did the reaction, but afterwards I liked it even more, to be honest. When I heard it again, it grew on me even more. So I really came to like that one quite a bit. That could be said for this one here, but this one's definitely my least favorite. But even when I say least favorite, it's still a solid song. And the thing though about this one is that it feels quite familiar. It somewhat lacks that extra quality that the band brought to the first two singles, really kind of setting themselves apart, sounding fresh, bringing it, really saying, hey, this is Rozario, this is who we are, and this is why you should listen to us instead of somebody else. This song here, it kind of lacked that quality in my opinion. It was solid. I enjoyed it. Like I said, great melody, nice heavy riffs, punchy, the headbanging quality, chant worthy. It checks all of those boxes. But again, at the end of the day, it just has a very, very familiar structure and even melody and vocal delivery, melody wise. I love this guy's vocals. It just has such a great voice, and it's a testament to his voice how each of these three songs have been a bit different from the others, but he really is able to manage that and it just deliver nice rockin' vocals each time. Great range, great delivery with his voice, especially in this one here. Really adds kind of a grit to his voice that suits those heavy riffs. But the vocal melody and even just like the structure of the song and the style of the song, it just sounded familiar, and so this is one of those songs that I rank somewhat in the solid but kind of standard fare category. If I was listening to a bunch of different songs and this one popped up, I'd be like, that's a cool song, but then I would probably just move on, and probably if I was listening to a bunch of different songs, I would hear a couple others in the similar vein as this. And so again, that's why I say it just kind of lacks that extra spark, that extra Rozario ingredient that they've been bringing to the first two singles that kind of makes you take notice and say, hey, this sounds really cool. This sounds somewhat different. Who are these folks? I dig this. But this one here, it's like, that's a solid song, but it just doesn't really stand out from the pack, in my opinion. But still, with that being said, I mean, the guitar work in this song, I loved it. I love those riffs. I love those guitar melodies. The drums were blasting. It sounded great. The musicianship was top notch. Everything was executed well, performed well. But again, at the end of the day, it just sounded like many things I've heard before. And so at this point in time, it's just kind of one of those songs that would pass me by where I headbang to it, while I'm listening to it. But then it moves on. Whereas the others, I feel like I'd be like, man, who is that? I gotta look to see who this is. But this one, it would probably just roll through. So yeah, I mean, that's really what I have to say about it. great melody. I mean, the chorus is very chant worthy, probably great live, but still, it just sounds a bit familiar. Again, executed well, great musicianship. The guitar work, especially in this song, I think really is the highlight. I love the riffs and I love the melodies in the guitar. There's just some really, really stellar guitar work in there, and then the vocals really kind of hammer home the feeling of the song and all of that. So yeah, I mean, executed well, performed well, but song wise, structure wise, melody wise, it just sounds like you know uh, something that I've heard before. A well trodden path, if you will, that songs go down. So yeah, my least favorite of the trio of Rosario songs, singles, but still by no means a bad song. I'm really looking forward to the album in October. I have high hopes. I got high hopes for this bad boy. I really think it's going to have a lot of diversity and just be, like I said before, a real powerhouse of an album. These folks know what they're doing, and it's as simple as that. But anywho, let me know, folks, in the comments down below, what do you think of this song here? If you heard the first two singles or saw my reactions, how does this one stack up for you to the other two singles? Are you looking forward to the new album, the debut album, if you will? I know I am, but let's talk about it all in the comments down below, and I'll catch you all next time. Ranger, out.